And we are back. So with Peanut Gallery, I almost said Tiger High for some reason. When Peanut Gallery was done, I chose 5 of my own, and I did a very different. And we're going to start with Becky Lynch. Now, I wanted to talk about Becky Lynch's social media because, number one, her Twitter and her Instagram are very different reflections, once again, of who she is.
Right, kind of like John Cena.
Right, but Becky Lynch uses Twitter as her gimmick, Becky Lynch, and her Instagram as Rebecca Quinn. That's where she posts the stuff with her child,
right.
And she posts stuff about her father passing away recently. She did not post that on her Twitter. She posted that on her Instagram. You see that person there. When Becky Lynch turned heel at SummerSlam and became the man, she became a lot more active on her Twitter, going after the people that she was building up a rivalry with and really growing that attitude Becky Lynch that kind of came out of turning quote-unquote heel. And I think with the power of social media and using her professional social media skills and her account to her advantage about building up this I don't give a shit attitude and becoming the WrestleMania disruptor that she did. You knew that she was going to win at WrestleMania, but you were so excited for her because you knew she busted her ass. She created this gimmick from social media, out of social media, as this I don't care person. Even when she was not on screen, people looked at her Twitter to really understand this. And I think with her separation from Rebecca Quinn, she still uses Becky Lynch, WWE, as her Instagram handle, but you see that Rebecca Quinn side of it where she posts about the child and Rollins and the father passing away, to her professional one where she posts the backstage curtain and time to go back to work after her pregnancy. You see these two different things, and that's why Becky Lynch is great. Let's talk about somebody else who I just absolutely adore for almost a totally opposite reason about Becky Lynch, and that is the Iron Sheik. He has 553,000 followers on his Twitter. He never uses hashtags because he has taken his gimmick to social media and cranked it up to 11. He basically says good morning and go fuck yourself. Basically what happens is it's all in capital letters. He uses one curse word at the very least, and one of his catchphrases like jabroni. You can literally scroll through it and you'll laugh. And I think that's what Iron Sheik wanted to do.
Right.
And somebody who can build, somebody in his era, in the 80s, to build a social media platform like this without using any hashtags, anything else other than being the Sheik, it's a great reflection that he understands it.
Right.
And I think people just don't give him the credit because he's older and because he's from Iraq.
Right.
He's a really cool guy. He actually promoted our show quite a bit, and it really gained a lot of our fan base now.
Right.
So I have a special love for Sheiky. And let's talk about somebody else who took a botch, something that could have ended a career, and transformed him into the Draw.
Right.
And I'm talking about Sammy Callahan. Ooh. Now, we all know the match where Sammy Callahan was going to use the bat on a chair on Eddie Edwards, completely missing the chair and hitting Eddie Edwards right under the eye, and almost blinding him, ending his career. So instead of apologizing and being, I don't know his actual name, Sammy Callahan, he took that incident and went total vitriol online because Eddie Edwards was hurt. He could not be on television, and Eddie Edwards is somebody who does not use social media often. So Callahan took advantage of this botch into an opportunity to translate into the psycho character that we know absolutely flawlessly. He tweeted about his cowardice on social media. He attacked his wife, Alicia Edwards, on social media as well, still within where people were saying, you have to apologize, you have to apologize. Why are you so angry and mean? Because it's like, this is what wrestling is.
Right.
He took what wrestling was and translated it to this in a way I think a lot of people just don't, that a lot of people don't see. Becky Lynch and Sammy Callahan are very much in the same way as this, except one was a botch and one was a heel turn.
Right.
And I think without the social media clout that Callahan did, promoting it and retweeting it and gaining the support that it did, he would not have been world champion.
Right.
He would not have been in the spot that he is now. I'm not saying that it's all social media because Callahan was a great character guy.
Right.
But look at him now. His social media is only promotion for Impact, and he's not even on the top of the fucking card where he should be. Where is this character work? And really, it's like people were wanting this. People want that the Death Machine Callahan, the draw back on the social media, especially him being the hacker guy. Why isn't he continuing to perpetuate that thing? He used that little QR code thing for his return. Once again, utilizing the social media platform, but then after it was done, it was done. It's like, what the hell? What are you doing? You should just promote these different QR codes that translate into a video that continues to promote who you are. And it's like, this is where, when a character is made on social media, you have to kind of continue that character.
Right.
Anyways, let's talk about, now this is not a particular wrestler. This is not anything else but internet stalkers.
Ah, yes, like our friend...
Albert Little, and then the guy who got to... what's her name?
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville, thank you.
Yes.
What's going on here? Why is this all of a sudden happening? So
This is called social media.
Right, and once again, they're giving these people attention.
Yes, that's what they want.
Yes, Alexa Bliss, unfortunately, responded to Albert Little on her social media thinking it was going to stop. People, when you respond to trolls, they will continue to do so because that's what they want.
Right.
Their goal is to do nothing else. What you do, and it's like, okay, well, now it's a lot easier to find these people's addresses and all of this, but when they're starting to threaten people's lives and all of this, especially what Albert Little as an example is doing. Now, for me, I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm giving these people the thing with the example of Albert Little because I think that whole thing is just squashed.
Right.
I haven't seen any kind of social media thing on here.
No, I haven't either.
Now, these people are mentally disturbed for obvious reasons. They have these things of grandeur, but this is not new, unfortunately. There are people who find these wrestlers' addresses, and celebrities have been dealing with this for years. There was a guy who swam up to, who was that? It was like this huge thing. They had like a police helicopter over him because he swam around this actress's house and broke in. And this was 20 years ago. This happens, and it will continue to happen. But I'm going to say this because if I do, we're going to be here for another 10 minutes. Do not give these people attention. That's all they want. If you want to do this, just block them. And don't even respond. People, everybody else, do not give these people that attention. That's what they want.
Right.
And if you think that you have these things of grandeur with these people and you're getting to a point where you're threatening, there's a problem. Please seek medical help. Somebody like with an Albert Little or the guy who that broke into Sonya Deville's house. They have mental instability, and I'm one of these people having a mental disability myself. I implore you to get help. But just don't give them attention. That's it. But I'm not done. Because here is a person who has taken his social media to the point where nobody wants to fucking hire him. Now I'm talking about Austin Aries.
Oh, fun.
Now, being vegan is fine. You have every right to be a vegan. I don't care.
Oh, Lord.
He is an anti-masker. If you're an anti-masker, I don't care. You have the freedom of speech, whatever, who cares, right?
Right.
He's a COVID denier, which is fine. I don't care. But there are consequences to putting this on your personal social media.
No one wants to work with you.
Right. People have dropped him for these things. He has stopped. He goes to very little events because they have no association with it. And this is something that a lot of people have fallen into.
Right.
You put your personal things on your social media to a point where it becomes an annoyance,
right.
And then people don't want to work with you. Cody has gone out of his way to respond to Austin Aries, saying that he will never be in their locker room.
Right.
Why? Because his veganism is so toxic. He's
a very toxic person.
He's very toxic. His anti-mask things are just vitriolic. Yeah. His being a COVID denier thing is getting to a point of annoyance. I follow it because I think it's hilarious. But it's like when you are a person of, when you're a person of celebrity, and Austin Aries is a great wrestler, you have a responsibility to do this in at least a way to where it doesn't seem so toxic.
That's very toxic.
Right.
No one likes him.
I think you can be a vegan on social media without being toxic.
Oh, like Daniel Bryan?
Yes. Daniel Bryan is a great example of somebody who has an alternative diet who is not toxic. Now,
right.
when he was being the
heel,
right, when he was being the heel Daniel Bryan, I think people understood it, but Austin Aries does not change his attitude.
Right. He just has a bad attitude.
Right. He can still do it. We're not saying Austin Aries, please change. But he bitches on social media. He attacks.
And then he complains that he's not getting any work.
Right. He attacks people for saying, I respectfully disagree with you on being an anti-masker, being a COVID denier, being a vegan. Right.
I hope he dies of COVID.
Don't say that. I do not condone what Peanut Gallery has said. And so here,
COVID is very much a real thing. I had it a few months ago.
Right. So here, I think that's a great segue to the end. And I think Peanut Gallery and we have a social media presence.
Yes.
And having a pseudo-popular, pseudo-successful podcast, we are given a responsibility
to be responsible citizens.
Right. To be not only responsible citizens, but knowing that there are fans of ours who will take our things as gospel.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
It happens to if you're big or small, if you have a following, you have that responsibility now. And being on social media or being a celebrity,
right.
you kind of put that responsibility
right.
on yourself. We try to do it as much as possible. People know that @TigerHeight on all social media platforms is a joke. Right. I put that on there in the description. This account is for the lulz. Do not take it seriously.
Right.
I am Tiger fucking Trump. And people are like, oh, are you a Trump supporter? Yes, I'm a Trump supporter because I edited Trump's face to look like the fucking Shockmaster. Like, come the fuck on. Do you think I'm a Trump supporter? Number one, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not going to get into politics. Once again, that's another great person. That's another great example.
Hey, let's start wrapping up here.
No, I'm gonna bitch. But anyway, just be responsible on social media. Social media is a great thing, and doing it the right way is good. And that's all I have to say. Okay. But don't be Austin Aries.
All right. Anyways, what do we got in store for us next week?
So next week we have Fastlane. And I think we're going to be doing NWA's back for the attack the week after.
Okay, whatever.
Well, because that's on the same day. It's on the 21st.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's what's going on there. Thank you all for listening to this gigantic rant. If you did enjoy it, follow us on all of our social medias. There is a flow page linked down below. Just click on it. It's basically Linktree.
Yes.
So you can just click on all of them and it goes to everything because we have a lot. Share with all your friends. And as always, be
majestic.